Welcome back to Cardcaptor Sakura Anime Review Part 3. This is reviewing episodes 15 and 19. Why 15 and 19? I was originally planning on doing 20, but it was getting kind of late and I really want to put this video out. That's the only reason why. Yeah, this one is covering just 5 episodes. First one is 15, Sakura and Kiro's big fight. Not really a big fan of this episode. The episode starts off with Lee, Sakura, and Kiro, along with Tomio, just taking down a cloud card. I think it's like the it's not the, I think it's spiral card, I think it is. The storm card. Yes, the storm card, which takes the form of a giant tornado. Okay? Yep, even though Sakura didn't seal it, he got the card. Then pretty much comes the thing of them, Sakura and Kiro, just fighting. The whole episode. They only briefly set their differences aside to take down the balloon card, which taken a little girl, and which they did not reveal about the whole cloud card stuff to her, even though it would have been nice that somebody outside of the few people basically know about it. And, well, and in the episode, they're still arguing because she broke a bed. Now, basically what happened though, how he got to the little girl is that he had apparently, because he didn't like her attitude, he basically took everything out of her bottom drawer, the desk drawer, which a lot of her personal stuff was in, and made his own personal home in there, which made her very unhappy because a lot of her personal stuff was in that drawer, and she had to take a place for it. So they basically big fight, and then he just come across a package in the living room, a parcel. Yes, this is another term for a package, which contains chocolate laced with brandy. Lucky enough, Sakura knows not to drink this stuff. Yeah, so she ate the stuff. She doesn't tell her father that it was not her, that she doesn't know what package he's talking about. So she cleaned up Kiro's mess. And of course, he up in the street. And of course, somebody, the little girl calls him No. Yeah. But aside from the little girl stuff I thought was the best part of the episode. I didn't care for the argument at all. Lee has zero involvement in the episode except for the beginning. It's overall a very weak episode of the entire series. Well, at least a bunch. Next we have the Summer House, which surprisingly is the first episode not to involve a cloud card. Yeah, that's actually quite surprising. You just have basically Sakura, her father and brother, Yukito and Kiro just going to a summer house for a few days. Then she goes out for a walk, wears a nice dress, and comes across an old man. Of course, something very interesting about him revealed at the end of the episode. Yep, just hangs out with him. Perfectly fine. Yeah, nothing really a big problem with this at all. I mean, I kept thinking of like, old man with a little girl. I was thinking that it might be a creep, but no. Yeah, he doesn't put on a revealing dress. He doesn't exactly do anything inappropriate. Just has fun with her, playing games, having tea, cookies. Really nice. Shows off a room that apparently was his granddaughter's, which was the end of the episode was actually Sakura's mother's room. Yes. So this guy she's hanging out with is her great grandfather. Yep, revealed at the very end of the episode. This episode was quite nice, and I love the fact they actually do a little rainbow thing. But yeah, it's quite interesting though. You do an episode and you don't require capturing a cloud card. Interesting. I never expected the series to do this, but yeah. Overall, not really bad episode. 17. The Cave. The beach episode of the series. Yep, the beach episode. But if it was full of teenagers, I would see the girls in smoking hot bikinis. But little kids, one-piece suits, perfectly fine. I have no problem with it. No, they're nice looking. They kind of did like two pieces, except that, well, they have the bottom half basically like almost look like a tank top shirt, but that's pretty much what their swimsuit looks like. And of course, the boys' swimsuits, yeah, for elementary school, their swim shorts are really, really short. Like, almost could be the point they could be freaking Speedos. Yeah, they could be Speedos, but they're not. They just go barely past, like, They cover like half the thigh because normally men's swimsuits are basically kind of like regular shorts, and they go past usually to the knee or just past the knee. That's normally how they work. Or men just wear speedos. hmm Yep. Basically, first he's Sakura just doing some swimming. Sees Lee looking at a cave. Oh yeah, there is a cloud card in this episode, and it's a card that is not very useful. Then you have Tessa's courage the whole episode. First by having by a group of 10-year-olds pull in a group of fish. Now, here's kind of the thing. In the US, we would not allow little kids to do this. Because even we would call this is stupid. Let the adults handle this. Like, if you want to test the courage, fine. Don't have them pull freaking fish. Then the next part, which is the cave, that's perfectly fine. That's not much of a problem there. Though we have this thing basically where we can't have uh, a minor without an adult around for a certain period of time. Yes, that's a thing here. Yeah, adults are very protective of the kids in the United States. So they go and they come across the eraser card. Yeah, which is found in a shrine, which apparently erases people's memories. Sakura captures the card, gives it a lead, turns it down, she keeps it. All her friends basically who participate in the test of courage, all the memories are erased, and of course Tomio basically figures out, yeah, it was a cloud card. Aside from the beach stuff, this overall was just an okay episode. Nothing really much wrong about with this one. Next up is Affair to Remember. We have Sakura, her brother, Lee, Tamio, and Yokito just going to a festival. Quite nice, just basically well, Lee basically goes by himself, but therefore just go to the festival. They just have fun. They do catch one card in this episode, the glow card. Yep, a card that was doing nothing to anybody. Wasn't causing mischief, it just was glowing the place. Sakura captured pretty easily. But it's also funny where basically look like Sakura's gonna confess her feelings for Yokito, and then they're stopped by her brother, and the guy who later fall in love with her in the series, Lee. Interesting episode. Nice slow stand a little bit. Next one is actually quite interesting one. Basically, Sakura's come to the end of her summer vacation, so she's basically catching up with homework. When I was in elementary school, I didn't have any. Well, I didn't have this. I went to summer school, but I didn't have any summer homework. For one thing, I didn't have to write my first essay until I was in I believe, the 5th grade. Yeah, it wasn't until the 5th grade I wrote my first essay. Yeah, essays are very difficult to write. Yes, doesn't matter how many words you have to write, it's very difficult. And for me personally, I had this thing even in college, even working essays in college. It is very difficult to do. It's not like you just type in. It's not an easy thing. I mean, at times I couldn't get past the title because I didn't know what to type. That was the thing. I just basically was so difficult. I had to have my mom help me basically when it comes to doing essays. Yes, sometimes essays can be like about 200-300 words. I think the highest I've had to do was 500 words. Yes, but essays, they are very difficult to do. Me personally, it was better for me to do a typewritten one than do handwriting because half the time people couldn't understand my handwriting. So I decided to simply just type it up anyways, and nobody had a problem with it because they perfectly accept that. If there was any mistakes in the essay, I would correct them. Sometimes it would take about 5 or 6 times for this essay to finally be fixed. Yeah. One time I had passed a class just by doing a simple essay. Yep. So, basically did the essay, math, and of course, look out for her father has a computer that basically has all the previous month's weather report, which is actually quite understandable he would have that because he's a teacher. I'm sure he would have like a small portable computer. It is 90s after all. Though nowadays, if you want to look up a weather report, you basically look up at your phone. Well, these smartphones. Yep, so shows math exercises to do. Yeah, math exercises. When I was in school, Math was my most difficult subject. Yep, math. The subject I had fun time doing. I love the subject with social studies. It's by far a pretty simple subject to do. I mean, I personally enjoyed it. Some people basically around my age, basically at that point, would think that history is boring. But I had no problem with it because I loved it. I loved reading, but it was so exciting to read. Then she also forms a deal, makes a deal with Kiro. Basically, he does her helps with her homework. He gets her sweets. Okay, and he does her shop thing, and of course her brother basically makes a deal with her. He's like, okay, I'll do this for you. Make me 5 dinners. Okay, like okay, book report left. So Sakura and Tamio just go to the library. When they run to Lee, and apparently he has a fortune told to him that he can't share a cubicle with a woman. Because something better happens. So, just Tamio and Sakura just basically finish the math report. Yeah, and of course Sakura's like, nah, you're not getting sleeps because all your answers are wrong. Probably because it's answered from 30 years prior. Yep. So they basically try to do a book report on the Little Pig. A very short book. Yeah, and Tamio basically the book report on a really thick book. A book that's this thick. Like, oh my gosh, it's the size of my Omnibus book I own. Yeah. So they chase this book all over the library, and it's revealed that what's causing this book to move is the move card. Yep. And they basically chase all over the place, and eventually Sakura catches it pretty easily. Though she and Lee end up getting wet, so she takes Lee takes her and Tommy to his house. They drive, and of course she puts on a T-shirt that he gets very nervous that she wasn't on. And then a girl in Chinese outfit shows up. Yep, they'll reveal this woman's name into the very next episode. She gets upset the fact that she's wearing that shirt because she bought it for Lee, and then she proceeds to beat the crap out of him. And that's how the episode ends. Though next episode does continue where this one left off, like the next day. I would say of these episodes are okay. I would say the weakest one is probably 15. I didn't really care for this one at all, aside from the little girl subplot. 16. Really good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The Cave. Okay. 18 was okay as well. I would probably say that 16 and 19 are the best episodes of these 5. That's just my honest opinion because 15 just didn't really care for it, aside from the subplot. 17, 18 were okay, but mainly just 16 and 19 the best episodes of this 5, okay? So yeah, that's it for this particular review. Tomorrow I have roughly about 2, maybe 3 videos to do tomorrow. One, of course, be news to review this episode of Fairy Tail. Hopefully another review of Cardcaptor Sakura, and maybe a comic corner, okay? See you next view. Bye.